Hey guys, just popping in today with one quick tip. We're about to start de-winterizing the RV and hitting the road. And some of the processes I go through, aside from the obvious of flushing the lines and sanitizing the lines, is propane line maintenance. Now, it doesn't seem like something you may think about often, but when you're talking about these water heaters and the furnaces and even the refrigerators, anything that runs on propane, your barbecue grills, that has a tubular line feeding the fire with an air port so you can adjust your air blend. Those little jumping spiders love to get in those tubes and they spin these webs all around the outside. So you may notice when you first fire up your water heater, you may be fluttering. The flame may be very yellow or orange, is maybe putting out a lot of fumes. That happened to us last season when we first opened up. And the cause is always going to be those little spider webs that form in there. So I'm going to show you with the use of a Drain Weasel, the easiest way just to do this. Takes a couple of seconds and you're done. All right, so here we are at this is the air intake for the propane feeding the water heater fire. Now, some of you may have this adjustable guard, some of you may not, but we have to get in to this area here. So we're going to take this screw out, which you should take this out regardless so that it's not interfering with you inserting this. But this will not fit. It will, but it's a pain to kind of jam that in there. So we're going to take this whole assembly here, and we're just going to slide this whole assembly as forward as possible, opening up this back end. So I prefer, on the thumbnail you may have saw, there was that real kind of, looked like a pipe cleaner. It was all curled up. When you have to make bends like this, that may not be rigid enough to force through those bends. So what I am going to do is just slightly try to put a slight curve in this, just a little bit, so we're making sure as we're rotating it, we're getting in. Now I'm not using that crank handle, I just have it out. So we're going to just slide this in here, give it a few turns, push it in as far as we can get it to go. It feels like I'm hitting bottom there. Yep. Now, like I said, we had this issue with the webbing last year. So I did give this a thorough cleaning. So to look at it now, I'm not really seeing maybe some trace webbing here that I missed before. But we didn't have that problem this year. But if you turn on your water heater and you're experiencing that flutter, the smells, the yellow or orangey flame, this is what you want to address. And I find that these Drain Weasels work wonderful for that. Now we got to put our collar back on. Now this has preset markings, 10 and 6. So this is a 6-gallon. So this should go here at the 6. If you know what you're doing, and if at 6 the flame seems a little harsh or a little yellowy, you can move this and adjust this in or out. So as you pull it this way, these holes get bigger, allowing more air in. So if it's yellowy or has a lot of orange tips or is fluttering a little bit, you want to pull this back closer to the 10. If it's too sharp, if it sounds real violent and it's just real grumbly and harsh, too forceful, it's too much air, you want to push it back. So I just leave it at 6. At 6, it seems to work fine for me. But if I ever notice there's any issues, this is made to be adjusted. Okay, so here we are back in my refrigerator compartment. Now when I took this grate off, there were lots of little cobwebs and spider webs in here, along with a lot of dust. I didn't really address this compartment last year, so since we're making this video today, I want to address this. So this was just a little kind of cover panel that was here. 3 screws that popped off, and then there's this little metal blocker here. I just pulled that out and you can see the port back here. So we are going to feed this Drain Weasel right in there. This isn't a very big long port, but it's still something that could be loaded with web. Again, I see some minor traces. The webs that were in here were very, very fine. So I think I lucked out this spring, or well, it's still winter, but it's about to be spring. I think this year I lucked out. There really wasn't a whole lot of webbing for me to clean up. So let's get this back together and we'll wrap this up. So there you have it, a few minutes of your time, and you will be free of webbing and be running your propane line safely. Now, like I said before, any propane line that you have that feeds a burner, whether it be a barbecue grill, water heater, your refrigerator, anything like that, these are very handy to use. They come in a 2-pack, they're very inexpensive. I'll put a link below, but you can pick them up at any Depot or Lowe's, probably even in Walmart's. Where the plumbing stuff is, but it's a very quick and easy fix. Now, there's a way you can avoid all this. You can install, they have these bug grates. As long as your other seals around here are good and tight, they sell these bug grates, and I'll be doing a video on that coming up in the next couple of weeks. Install and sizing for here, your furnace, as well as your refrigerator compartment to help keep all those little critters out. So stay tuned for that. As always, please like, subscribe, and share. And any links for this video you'll find below in the description. Thanks again, guys.